classroom, it's college government or whatever. I
Yeah.
have absolutely
They
no
said
idea.
Oh,
They're on.
I feel like
oh, they are?
Yeah,
Wow.
probably, that's where I would assume they were.
Okay. I'm sure all of you have visited a restaurant by yourself, with friends, or a family at some point in your life. During this visit, you had a server serving you food, and at the end you had the choice to tip your server or leave them without a tip. According to an article written by Bankrate, it stated that 65% of the adult population will tip their server after their stay at a restaurant. If you believe you're not a part of this percentage, you could be a part of the leading causes of why you don't want to tip servers, such as you've already paid for the food, which is realizing that the bill is too much and you don't want to tip your server like on top of that. Customer service not being good enough for your needs, feeling that your server was rude, not easy to talk to, and not easy to get along with, or that their hourly pay seems to be enough and that they don't need any more tips because they're already getting paid to do their job. I know that all of you also are a part of school sports, activities, work, and other extracurricular activities. And getting recognized for your work is very important, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment. I myself work at a restaurant, and although I am not a server, I experienced the disappointment firsthand from people who don't receive tips after working a long shift with many customers. So from this statement, I believe that servers should be getting tipped at least 20% of each bill on top of their food payment. Based off the class survey results, you all answered that about 2/3 of you go out to eat at restaurants regularly. Based off of the statistics in my previous statement, if we all went out to a restaurant, only 14 of us would end up tipping our server generously based off of the results. This brings me to the conclusion that generosity is lacking in America. Ever since COVID-19, people started seeing tipping as excessive with the production of touchscreen tablets and asking for tips based off of a single button. According to The Hill, they said that COVID-19 made people see tipping as unnecessary and unreasonable. Generosity isn't only a problem, but it's what supports servers' income. An article by PBS states that tips are a substantial part of a server's income. Most restaurants pay their servers less per hour because they know that their tips that they're going to be receiving is what's going to be paying for their salary and giving them as much money as they need. So in conclusion, generosity goes both ways in the service industry. To be a good server, you need to be on top of your work, and you need to supply your customers with their needs so they can supply you with a good tip. Gaining satisfaction in the service industry isn't just supplying good service for your customers, but it's making sure they have a good time so that they can give you a good tip. Tipping your server leads them to a successful job attitude. The more you work in something and the more accomplishes you get from it, the more you're going to want to do it. So tipping your server above 20% will bring your servers to wanting to work more and have better service for you. Money for servers depends on their tables. Each table they have depends on whether they're going to tip or not. So next time you go to a restaurant, maybe you can realize that not everybody tips, so you deciding to tip will make up for the people who do not. Another satisfaction that will happen is that servers' attitude will improve with the more tips that they get. Good service equals good money. In conclusion of this, your actions matter and they make a difference to you and to the server. According to an article by the Daily Nebraskan, it stated that a server can make $30 one night and $300 the next. So this concludes that no matter what night it is, no matter what day, it's good to tip your server above 20% for a generous tip and at least 15 for standard. It isn't required that you tip everybody in the restaurant, but as a server, you're making a lot of deliveries to each table and it's a lot of work. So I believe that tipping them 20% will ensure steady pay, and doing this we can raise the 65% of adults that are tipping their servers, and being generous is good because it will benefit you.